These are all very dangerous animals. These are not the kind of animals that you want running around in your house or your home or exposed to your children. Again, these are extremely dangerous animals.
On this episode of Joe's Big Cat Kingdom, Dr. Froderman stops by the Exotic Feline Rescue Center to take a look at Sassy, an adult female leopard who has stopped eating and drinking. And the crowds come out for the Evening Roar charity event. The Exotic Feline Rescue Center was founded by Joe Taft in 1991 to help protect abused and mistreated exotic felines. With the illegal trade of these big cats increasing at an alarming rate in North America, the center has grown from 3 big cats and 15 acres to over 200 exotic felines and more than 100 acres of property.
I'm tired, I'm angry, I'm worried, but I'm never bored.
Welcome to Joe's Big Cat Kingdom. Dr. Froderman has come to the center to take a look at Sassy, an adult female leopard.
Sassy she's been acting okay, but she hasn't been eating, and we haven't noticed her water bucket going down at all, and that's a concern. I know it's hot, but it's still not normal for her, so we need to immobilize her, take a look at her, and see what's going on.
Dr. Froderman prepares the medication necessary to immobilize the leopard.
Sassy's a really upbeat, she's a really active little girl. She loves to be up, she's very happy, but she's been real whiny lately, which is not very much like her at all, so we know she's not feeling too hot. So we just, we pick up on those little cues with the cats, because we know them very well, so we need to just make sure that she's doing okay. Sassers! Hi, no, come here, it's okay, honey. It's okay, honey. It's okay. I know, come here, Sassy. Sass, come here, come by me. Come here, it's okay. It's okay. Come here, Sass. Sassy, come here. Come on. No, nothing's happening. Come here. Come here, Sass. Hi, that's a very good girl. I know. See, this is like normal Sassy. This is why we're very confused with the not eating or drinking thing. Come here. Hi. Sass, come back here.
Whenever I approach these cages, I always try to hide the pulse syringe because I have a history with a lot of these cats. Sassy in particular, and I have had a go-around before, which she might have got victory on that one. But they learn who I am, they learn what the pulse syringe is, so anytime I can sneak up on them, I have much better luck.
The medication works best when injected into a large muscle. Dr. Froderman waits patiently for a perfect shot.
Come here. Hi. Sass. What are you getting so mad about, Magic?
The neighboring tigers watch with vivid curiosity.
You are so distracted today, honey. Magic. Didn't really notice. No.
The drugs can set in at any moment. Sassy is at risk for a dangerous fall the higher she climbs.
Don't go up, please. Sass. Oh, God. No, don't go up. It's okay, Sassy. Come here. Come here, Sass. Okay. All right. Oh, she went right up where we don't want her to go. So we don't want her to go out and fall down. I'll try to trick her. I think she's going in the small part. All right, sorry, you can't go in there, but stay down. When Sassy first came, she was unspayed. She came the day before I started, and 2 weeks after, 2 babies were born. So that's something I will not forget. And so she is currently unspayed, so we need to take a look at her and see, you know, if we've got an issue going on in there or what's going on.
Rebecca comforts the neighboring big cats.
Hello, my kids. How are you? I know, that's good kids.
Sassy is fully asleep. Dr. Froderman begins the inspection.
Feel something right here.
Maybe part of her sternum.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. What would cause that? Just
the way she's laying.
Dr. Froderman takes the temperature of the leopard.
You look in her mouth?
Mm-hmm.
She got any sores on her tongue or anything?
Oh, that I didn't see.
Oh my gosh, look at her color.
Yeah, she is very pale.
This looks a little pale up there in the roof.
Mm-hmm.
The color of the roof of her mouth should be a healthy light pink.
So far, her gums are looking a little pale, but everything else is looking okay. So we're gonna draw some blood and give her some fluids and run blood work and see what we're looking at. She's dehydrated, so we're just going to give her some fluids, as well as whenever we immobilize these guys, it really helps to metabolize the drugs too a little bit quicker and a smoother wake up for them. So we're going to go ahead and give her a bunch of fluids.
Dr. Froderman heads to the on-site lab to take a closer look at the blood sample.
I just thought that she looked a little pale right now, and so we're going to check her out, make sure her liver's okay, make sure that she isn't anemic, or see if she is anemic. Anemia is when the red blood cell count is low. About 23%, Joe. Well, we
Down
like
23%.
her red blood cell percentage is 23%.
Okay.
We like to see it 35 to 40.
Okay.
So she is a little anemic.
So we want to give her some iron while she's down?
It wouldn't hurt anything, that's for sure. We got some down at the clinic, right?
Yeah. Want me to go get it all?
Yeah, why don't you? This is a refractometer. I'm looking at the serum to see what the total protein level is. So the total protein is 8.5. Usually we'd expect it to be 6.5, 7. So it's a little elevated, which just supports dehydration. So whenever we look at this and we see that it's showing dehydration, and then we look at the red blood cell count, we can say, well, actually, even though it's 25, 27%, it's actually lower than that if you get her rehydrated. That makes sense?
Yeah. What could that mean?
Either she's losing blood internally or she's destroying the red blood cells. So what we need to do is make a smear, stain it, and look at the blood under the microscope. I'll let that dry, then we'll stain it.
Staining the blood allows various blood cells to be examined microscopically.
One thing we'll be able to tell by looking at this slide is whether she's making red blood cells or not. You've got very high white blood cell count. Tells me it probably got a pretty significant infection. This is the general chemistry report, and what it's showing is that she's probably has renal failure. Her BUN and creatinine, which are both kidney parameters, are elevated significantly. And they can be elevated with dehydration, but they can also be the cause of the dehydration. That, along with the anemia, could mean what we're dealing with here is chronic renal failure.
Sassy's kidneys are infected and failing.
This is just some iron. Just try to help her with her anemia. Make her feel better.
Dr. Froderman will put Sassy on a regimen of antibiotics that will be administered daily by Rebecca.
Hi, Sassers. Hi. Hi. I don't have any meds for you, but hi. You're a cutie. Sassy a while back got pretty sick. We don't really know exactly what was going on, but she wasn't eating, she wasn't acting herself. She's usually a pretty crazy little girl, and she was pretty lethargic. So we called the vet out here, and Dr. Froderman came out, immobilized her. We drew blood, and we put her on medication. He thought she had probably a kidney infection or something going on. And so we put her on meds and antibiotics and stuff, and she's really bounced back. She's doing really well. She's back to her crazy, jumping self.
The local community has come out to the Evening Roar charity event to support the Exotic Feline Rescue Center.
Tonight is the Evening Roar event. It's a fundraiser that we have in-house here. We take a tour of the main area, and then we come up to our fundraiser area. We have hors d'oeuvres and wine and beer. People really seem to get involved with it. They really feel like they're a part of the center. They really enjoy themselves out here. They can relax. You get a little bit of liquor in you, and you really start to relax, and so you feel like you've become a part of the center, and that's what we want people to do, is become a part of the center. So it's a great event.
A friend of mine told me about it, and it's my birthday today, and this is a special event on my day, and I really just wanted to come here. I've lived in Indiana my whole life and had no idea this place was here, so I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you.
What birthday cocktail can I get you?
I think I'll go with Cabernet. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, I love big cats. And I was here last year and I really enjoyed it, so thought we drove all the way down from Fort Wayne.
It was a surprise for my girlfriend. She kept it secret for a few days and drove me here. I had no idea where we were going, and she heard about it from a friend of hers.
So we came down, our first trip was an overnight, and that was 3 years ago. We're here all the time now. We volunteer for events. We help them out however we can. So it's a wonderful place. It wasn't just the volunteers that did the tours. We met the keepers, because when you do overnight, you get behind the scenes, and those girls work so hard. It impressed us so much. We really wanted to help.
So we're going to go ahead and get the first tour started, and Joe here is going to be giving the first one. So we'll go ahead and get about 20 of you guys going.
Lions roar at their own discretion, and when they do, they're talking to each other. People who live nearby often tell me, oh, we know you feed them at 4 o'clock in the morning because we always hear them roaring then. We don't. One way you can always make the lions roar, though, is if you come out here on a loud Harley. They all roar for Harleys. They don't necessarily roar for other motorcycles, though. We have almost 200 cats here. We have 10 different species. And when we take one of these animals in, we make a commitment to provide it a home for the rest of its life.
two boys were from Long Island, New York. There was originally a call on a domestic dispute, so the cops showed up. They found the wife chained to the staircase. They found these two leopards roaming around the apartment. There were other exotic animal parts in the freezer, so it's probably not going to be a very good fate for these guys. Typically, you can get more money out of a big cat by piecing it and selling it part by part than you can just selling the live animal.
So do you have a favorite?
I mean, I have a whole bunch of favorites at any given time. I guess sort of my favorite, the servals that we saw in the front. They can be crossbred with domestic cats to produce an animal called a Savannah. Now, by the time you get 3 generations away from the wild, Savannahs are no more regulated than domestic cats. But they are very expensive. F3 Savannahs can sell for up to $15,000. I have a Savannah in my house that came here when she was 3 months old. She is an F1. She was born at a breeding facility in New York. She was sold for $32,000 to some people in Canada. And they're really tough to smuggle across the border, probably tougher than drugs to smuggle across the border. So Customs picked her up, and she came here when she was about 3 months old, and she's my house cat, and she sleeps in my bed at night. And so I guess you might say she's probably my favorite right at the moment.
So this big guy in front of us is King. Obviously one of our male lions. He lives in here with 2 other female lions. King we got from a guy that had him living in his barn in Minnesota. He decided he didn't want him anymore after 1.5 years, so he was going to put him down, he was going to shoot him, and he was going to stuff him. A neighbor ended up contacting us, so we went ahead and we got King.
Vultures won't land in these cages. Occasionally hawks will. Most of the hawks that come into these cages are very aware of the cats and very non-approachable. In the 25 years that we've been here, we have found 1 red tail in the cages. I mean, we see red tails a lot, but we've only found 1. You know, the tigers have only gotten 1. Now, earlier this spring, we had a red-shouldered hawk that got in the top part of this lion cage and then couldn't get back out through the 4-inch mesh. And we had to chase the lion out into the big part and go in and catch him. Yeah. And we've had a couple of falcons that have gotten into bobcat cages.
Falcons?
And we've had to go in and get them back out. You know, little. I mean, you'll notice there are virtually no flies here. Part of that is because we pull all the bones out of these cages every day. The cages are thoroughly cleaned every other day. We have a number of different kinds of fly traps, and every week we release almost 250,000 of these tiny little gnat-sized wasps called fly predators that lay their eggs in the pupal stage of the fly. And the developing wasps eat the emerging flies. So it's like a big spay-neuter program for flies. The wasps are substantially, you could probably get 3 of these wasps in a grain of rice. They are tiny. They spend most of their life within 4 inches of the ground. Even though we're turning loose 240,000 a week, you never see them. Max is the tiger on top. Kisa is the lion on the bottom. Well, you know, we've got a couple of enclosures with lions and tigers that live together. When I came here with 2 tigers and a leopard that lived together their whole life. And the leopard, surprisingly enough, was the dominant animal in the group. Kisa was a privately owned pet in Iowa. Max came from just outside Indianapolis, a guy just south of Indianapolis who bred tigers for sale. He had 21 tigers, 7 leopards, 3 bears, and a meth lab. And the meth lab sold him to a guy in Chicago. We got the tiger when that guy was arrested and charged with over 240 counts of child molesting. You know, I've never really liked tigers. I only keep them for the wonderful people I get to work with.
Enrichment, like switching cages?
No. No, these guys are real creatures of habit. Once we put them in a big cage, then it's theirs for the rest of their life. Kaya is one of 4 tigers that we removed from Roy Boy's tattoo parlor in downtown Gary. I don't know if you've ever been to Gary. It seemed like a wonderful tourist destination to me. I wanted to spend more time there, but
work wouldn't let you.
Work wouldn't let me.
Right.
Actually, it was a federal seizure, and the feds called us the day before it was supposed to happen and said, we are afraid to be in this neighborhood in the afternoon. Let's postpone it till the next morning. And they actually paid for our hotel that night, where we had dinner with them, and they informed us that they did not trust the Gary City Police. So we had 2 state troopers coming in for security. I thought, wow, you're afraid to be here in the afternoon and you're giving us 2 state troopers. I feel so safe.
And you're afraid of the Gary police.
Well, the state troopers got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they put up yellow crime scene tape all around the place. We got there at 10 after 8, and there must have been 100 people on the streets ready to throw beer bottles at us.
Really?
Yeah, really.
For what reason?
For taking the tigers from their
beloved tigers.
You know, we had the feeling that we were left there hanging out in the open. You know, but we have 2 of these evening roars every summer.
Yeah.
In our last evening roar, I got back to here with the first tour, and I told this story. And this guy said, I was there when you did that. I'm an undercover officer with the sheriff's department. And we had a lot of guys there in the street because we knew there was trouble on the way. And that made me feel a little better, but I wish I would have known that years and years ago. Let's go find some food.
Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. Amazing cats, amazing facility, and very grateful that they take care of these animals so well. Go. Even if you can't do the dinner, just come and see the facility, see the animals, check it out, and support it because it is amazing.
Evening went really well so far. Everybody seems to really be enjoying themselves. A lot of first-time people, which is always awesome. But we always love the repeats too. There's people that absolutely love us, and get to teach people things, get to inform them of who we are and what we're about, and get to see them have a good time. So it's going really well.
These events are what keep us going financially. This is an expensive operation. We run it on a shoestring budget, and we try and hold some kind of fundraising event just about every month.
The night was a huge success, raising over $5,000 for the Exotic Feline Rescue Center.
Oh!